Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Week 12 of the Pokemon SWSH Draft League. We've got some big matchups today, some of which are rematches of last week, just flipped around. Like, for example, this first matchup is just the team that I was controlling last week. I am now controlling the other team. This is the only week that's really going to be a thing. It's just how the schedule came out, like how it worked out when we were trying to make it. So yeah, bear with it, and then next week everyone will have new matchups. I will happily decide the rules since this is my league. It's all of our league, but I'm the one that, runs it. Alright, our first matchup of the day is the 3-8 Licky Munchkins against the 1-9 Team Leanna. These two teams are both technically eliminated already from playoff contention, but still vying for positioning and trying not to be the worst team in the standings. So, let's see how this goes. I was gonna take it back, but then I looked at the standings again. Yeah, Licky would if they could have been 4 and 7 coming into this instead of 3 and 8, they'd still have a chance. But unfortunately, that is not the case. All right, music for this week. We did Mustard last week. Sure, we'll do Peony this week. Because again, trying to save Gym Leader and Champion, like all that for the, the playoffs. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, again, so far this season, the opposing trainers have almost always picked Lopunny to start. So I'm going to assume that Lopunny's going to start things off for us here. Knowing that I'm not picking either of these two because they're weak to high jump kick. Let's go Azurill. I know that it's weak, but like just to make it have to do something else. Alright, I'll be right back. I picked 4 instead of 5, so give me a second. Alright, take 2. We're trying this again. I hate that, like, I get fooled by that so often. Myself and the other trainer have both messed up this season. I think I've messed up more often than them, though. Because I keep wanting to scroll up to go to the bottom, but it goes to done instead of the bottom Pokemon. I keep getting fooled by that. Alright, it's 5-on-5 this time. I did confirm that the lead is Lopunny once again by the opposing trainer. So, yeah. Alright, this thing's gonna headbutt. So, we gotta plan. You know what? I'm gonna body slam. If we don't die in one hit, we'll faint in one hit, and we don't flinch, we could paralyze it. Dang, I was gonna say paralyzing it would severely hurt its strategy of trying to flinch everything. Dang. Okay. Well, we had 2 good shots at it, and I mean, Azurill has it at around 50% health. Alright, good work. I don't think we're going to be faster after 1 speed boost, but I'm going to see. Alright, let's protect and get that speed boost up. Oh, wow. They should have gone play rough. Wow. Wow. We are faster now. Bye, Lopunny. Okay. We're at double speed now, so it's going to be hard for whoever comes in. Well, except Tangrowth. And there's the Tangrowth. Okay. We die very fast to you. Let's go Licky Licky. I was going to say, with Carvanha's speed, it can definitely finish off Tangrowth if we get some damage on it first. But it would have gone down for sure when it got hit. Critical hit from the Tangrowth there. Okay. Oh, I should have gone for Zen Headbutt, see if we could flinch it. That was a crit, so definitely going to try the flinch strategy next turn. I'm going for the 2 critical hit energy balls in a row. Really? It did not flinch. Alright, Tangrowth going to take out Licky Licky. Got some good damage on it, though. Get Munchlax in there. If we can get by the Tangrowth, we can beat the others with Pelipper and Carvanha. Let's go Ice Punch in case they switch. They did not switch, just another energy ball. No critical hit this time, at least. Tangrowth will go down to Munchlax. We got the critical hit that time. Alright, alright. Alright, they're going with Linoon. Interesting, because if it goes down, I mean, it has Seed Bomb. So if it goes down, they don't have a move that's super effective on Carvanha, I don't think. Munchlax returning fire and getting a big hit in there. Why would you double edge again when you're on low health? Like, you're dark type too. Surely you could have done throat chop or whatever is on it. I think it's throat chop. I don't remember that moveset by heart, but that was a weird choice. Okay, well, nonetheless. Alright, same idea as before. Protect and then go at it. Poison Fang, why not? We outspeed and we take it out. 2 knockouts for Carvanha. Alright, Crunch. Oh, I could have done Waterfall too, but oh well. Oh well. Didn't matter. Okay, worked out. Three knockouts for Carvanha with Soul Rock to go here. And even if the Soul Rock does find a way around Carvanha, we still have Pelipper. I would imagine that we're going to win in at least this turn, if not next turn. Solrock goes down. That's your ball game. 4 knockouts for Carvana. And that's going to be a 2-0 victory for Licky Munchkins. They are now 4-8. All right. First match is in the books. And second match of the day is Team Garrett versus Wailforce 1. Team Garrett is 3-7. Wailforce is 0-11. Of course, Team Leanna and Team Garrett will have that fated doubleheader to end the season. So they see that's why they've played a game less. They will be having a doubleheader to make up for it in week 14. Team Garrett still technically alive, mathematically alive in the playoff race, but they have to win out, and they have to have at least one of the Power, Mamoswine, Haunter, and Nightmare. One of those 4, could be any of those 4, one of those 4 has to lose out. So if those 4 teams can all muster up 1 win, or if Team Garrett loses before then, it's over for Team Garrett. But they still mathematically have a chance. They're playing, again, Wailforce, who's 0-11 today. So unless Wailforce gets their first win, again, they have a chance. They should still be alive. 2 of the 7 and 4 teams play against each other today. So I would imagine that... obviously we don't have ties, so one of them has to lose. So if Team Garrett can win this battle and not lose, they will stay mathematically alive regardless, because someone has to lose that one matchup. If they lose this battle against Wailforce, they're out of playoff contention. They would still be competing to not be last place, but they would be out of playoff contention. All right, let's see here. What have we got? Swords Dance. I mean, it's kind of the same strategy they used against me last week. Shift Tree just annihilated most of the team. It did get Rain Dance up. That could help as far as giving, like, Feebas with Swift Swim a chance to freeze us. Except for the fact that Blizzard will be less accurate. Wailord goes down to the Shift Tree. Not really surprised. We saw that last week. All right. I'm going to Sucker Punch because they're not going to expect me to... They're going to expect to outspeed me with Swift Swim. Yep, doesn't even get a chance to freeze me. I might be able to just do that the rest of the game. Just Sucker Punch everything and not take a chance of it outspeeding me. I don't think they have anything else that'll outspeed me, except maybe the Wingull. I don't know. Shift Tree's not slow, but it's not fast either. All right. Yeah, this one's not really a good matchup for the Wailord team, Wailforce team. They'll have they have better matchups the last 2 weeks of the season. Will be a little more winnable, but this is a tough ask to beat a team with a grass and an electric type and a Shedinja with just a water team. It's not possible depending on what your makeup was. Like, obviously, like a Gyarados would contribute more than a Feebas, but you get the idea. Gyarados is an Gen 3 or 4, but you guys get my point. You can have good mono-type teams, but, yeah, they got to be well planned out. That's okay. I mean, it had Sturdy anyway. We survive even the critical hit. All we gotta do is Leaf Blade it once and we win. And that's gonna be a Shift Tree sweep with no one else playing. Just a dominant sweep. A 5-0 victory for Team Garrett. Staying alive again in the playoff picture. They will be mathematically still alive in the playoff race for at least another week. All right, that was short, but we're on to match number 3. This should be a good one. It was a good one last week. The Pokemon Power and the Mamoswine Flu. Both these teams are 7-4 coming into this. So one of them will move up to 8-4. One of them is going to fall to 7-5. And teams like, again, Team Garrett, My Little Ponyta, Squirtle Squad, those teams are going to be watching to see which team loses and which team they've got a shot at catching up to. Just making sure our buddy here is on the same page as us. Okay. Now I know when when our opponent had control of this team last week, I think they started Drifblim. I have a feeling they'll start the Abomasnow for the Hailstorm. So I'm gonna go Magnezone. Because I would also lead the Abomasnow, so you'd have the Hailstorm up for Glalie and Mamoswine. But we'll see if they may have thought what I thought and therefore done something different. All right, well, the Abomasnow it is. I don't remember if we have an Earth move on that Abomasnow. I know some of them get, like, Earth Power and Earthquake. Either way, we're going to hit it with Flash Cannon. It does survive, and it does have Earthquake. We didn't even need Sturdy. We just outright survived. Does the Hail take us out? Very close. Do we have anything that can dodge the Earthquake? Drifblim. But then I think it outspeeds us and hits us with Blizzard the next turn. Let's just go Flash Cannon again. It's a speed tie! Oh! Alright, with a speed tie, it's like a coin flip every turn on who will go first. Abomasnow wins the coin flip on the second turn. That is unfortunate. I think Gardevoir is the fastest of the 4 we've got there. Let's go Dazzling Gleam, because I don't know if they'll switch or not. They did not switch. And that was enough to take it out. Alright. We have Energy Ball on this if they use the Mamoswine. They are not using the Mamoswine yet. Okay. You are pure ice. I could risk it and go Focus Blast. We'll give it one shot. I don't think unless it goes for sheer cold, it shouldn't one-shot us unless it would land a sheer cold. So we'll take one turn to try Focus Blast, and if we don't beat it and we're still alive, I'll just change to Psychic next turn. It goes first. It doesn't matter because it outsped us and went first. So here I'm thinking out a plan, and the plan didn't even matter. All right, so Glalie gets a sheer cold on the first try. Go figure there. Walrein. A first try sheer cold, man. Well, at least it can't sheer cold another ice type, so we're safe in that regard. Alright, it's going Earthquake. And Wall Rain just eats the hit. Okay. Hydro Pump lands on the first try. Decent damage. Would have liked to see a little more, but alright. They're going Earthquake again. We missed that time. Alright, let's go Earthquake ourselves then to avoid a miss. Because we know Hydro Pump without a critical hit isn't going to take it out this next turn anyway. I'm not sure another Earthquake can take it out, though. So I am going to chance it with Hydro Pump again. Alright, 2 for 3 on Hydro Pump. And we will take out the Glalie. At least Sheer Cold's not a threat now. This is a problem, though. I don't think we don't have a lot of health. So our matchup with the Mamoswine here is not great. Walrein unable to survive that hit. Alright, let's go Drifblim. Because I know that it's faster than us, but if we can get that Will-O-Wisp, we will really hurt that thing's damage output. It lands Stone Edge on the first try. That has to be a critical hit. Of course it gets a critical hit, so it one-shots us. Alright, it's down to Rhyperior, who's not the fastest Pokemon. It could potentially beat Trapinch and Claydol if it can get around Mamoswine. I think we're going to have to go Horn Drill, honestly, because it's going to Earthquake us twice and beat us. So we have to hit this Horn Drill. We do not land the Horn Drill. That is not good. If by some miracle we survive this hit, we can try another Horn Drill, but we are not likely to win here. Nope. Mamoswine getting all the breaks, all the critical hits, all the sheer colds, all the craziness that you need to have to win sometimes. And in that matchup between those two, the computer has won both times. Interesting there. Well, computer, the other trainer, you guys know what I mean. Alright, so Mamoswine go up to 8-4. The power dropped to 7-5. They're still in the playoffs. They're just kind of repositioning themselves. Alright. Matchup number 4. We've had 3 very quick matchups today. Matchup number 4. We've got the Harpers Ferry Haunter and the Squirtle Squad in a rematch here. These lineups are different than what they've used most of the time. As you can see, there's no Heatran or Azelf, for example, in this lineup. So, and for once, Curly is not being used by Squirtle Squad. So, this will be different. I do see that they brought the Leafeon back after its dominant performance last week. I've been instructed to lead Hippowdon, so even though I would like to save it for later in the match, it'll be going out there first. The reason I say I'd like to save it is they do have Glaceon and Leafeon. I would have liked to get rid of at least one, if not both of those, before throwing Hippowdon in there, but gotta respect the team's wishes. I'm going to Fissure because I know Ice Fang is not going to do crud to it on turn 1. It's probably going to use... I was going to say, it's going to set up Swords Dance. So we Fissure and hope we get it. We get the Fissure on the first turn. Back-to-back battles where somebody lands an Oko move on the opening... on that Pokemon's first turn out there. All right. Good start. Good start for us. All right, same strategy because Ice Fang is obviously not going to help us against an Ice type. All right, they're starting a Hailstorm. We couldn't be lucky enough to go 2 for 2. All right. Why not try it again if we don't die in one hit? Yeah, okay. That's why I didn't want to switch, because I knew that was going to hurt whatever went in there. All right, Magmortar. All right, they're switching. Salamence making a rare appearance. It's a very good Pokemon, but this team has not used it much this season. We do land the Fire Blast. Burn it, burn it, burn it. The burn would have really hindered it. I think we just stay in there. Thunderbolt it. Going for Stone Edge. And there goes Magmortar. To be honest, I forgot it knew Stone Edge because it hasn't been used much this season. Otherwise, I may have actually considered switching there. Let's go Swampert. With the Hailstorm up, we can Blizzard. Swampert should be bulky enough to not go down in one hit. Should be. Going for Dragon Pulse. Swampert tanks it. And there's our Blizzard. Salamence goes down. Alright. That's the end of the Hailstorm. Alright, the return of the Glaceon. I bet you it hails again. Alright. Good prediction by me. This is a big matchup. If Squad wins this, it'll put the Haunter at 7-5. Like they'd both be at 7-5. Alright, here comes a Blizzard. Alright, Liquidation. That was with a crit, so if we don't get a crit, we probably don't take it out this next turn. Oh, I got 8 health left. Glaceon survives with like 1 or 2 health. And Swampert will go down to the Hailstorm, which counts as a knockout for Glaceon because Glaceon set the hail. Let's get a low sweep. Rock Slide has a chance to miss. We should outspeed it. Yep. Alright, Glaceon goes down to the Grovyle. And this is a 2-on-2 battle now, the rest of the way. Okay, interesting. Going with Luxray here. Oh, that's why. Dang it. Low sweep to slow it down. Oh, I thought it might be faster than us. Darn it. I would have done Leaf Blade if I knew we were going to outspeed it. Alright, that's going to suck for us. Granted, we would not have defeated it, but we would have done more damage to it before going down. Alright, Gallade. Well, this is actually where the low sweep might help, because I think it might have outsped Gallade. We're going to have to go all or nothing here, see if we can outspeed it with close combat. Oh, man, I thought about going Psycho Cut because I wasn't sure if close combat would defeat it this turn, but I wanted to, I gambled and went for it. Lands the first Thunder that it could hit. There's the Psycho Cut. Alright, Luxray's gonna go down. They have the Absol, though, which I'm pretty sure outspeeds us. If I'm wrong and we outspeed it, we have a chance still with a close combat. Because both these Pokemon are not very physically defensive. We are faster. Absol will go down. Gallade will hang on. And that'll be a 1-0 victory for the Haunter, who lost to the Squirtle squad last week. So far in the 4 rematches, we got two victories by teams that lost and 2 teams that went 2-0 against their opponents. These next 2 matchups are not rematches from last week. They are just different matchups. Our first one is the matchup of the day. We have Nightmare AC at 7-4 against the undefeated 11-0 Raging Rayquaza. The Rayquaza have had 4 consecutive games where they've had one single Pokemon left. They've been flirting with disaster and losing the last 4 weeks, but they keep finding a way out of it. If they do plan on going undefeated, they need to quit doing that. Like, they're not going to stay undefeated if they keep flirting with disaster. I will say they have an interesting lineup they brought this week, because they did not bring the Garchomp. And they brought the Fan Rotom, which I think is only played in like 1 or 2 games. I'm going to start Ludicolo, because they're almost for sure going to start with the Hippopotas. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to have a tough gamble if I'm right, though. Do I go for the knockout in the Sandstorm first turn, or do I try to set up the Rain Dance? You know what? I'm going to go for the knockout. Because I bet you they fissure. I bet you that they fissure. They didn't withdraw. And we knock it out, so we'll never know what it was going to do. But that is a knockout for Ludicolo to start. We don't want to use Rain Dance because that'll help it with Thunder. Get Rotom Heat in there. Alright. It was going to go for Paraflinch. That doesn't surprise me. It's kind of Fan Rotom's gimmick. Uh-oh. Having a hiccup there. We've got a desync. I'll wait till the turn's over so everyone can see the attacks before I try to address it, even if the audio is out of sync. Alright, it was confused and hit itself. They're both getting hit by sandstorms, so you're not missing anything right now. Alright, I think we've got everything back. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Alright, it's confused again. Going for nasty plot. Man, I think we've outsped it both turns, so they either have a speed tie or that one's slower for whatever reason. I'm going to save Overheat. I'm not going to use it yet. Alright, they did a nasty plot and then retreated. Well, I'm glad I didn't use Overheat, because that wouldn't have done much. Alright, the sandstorm is gone. Ludicolo. I will say, just looking at it on paper, I think that Rayquaza's in trouble this game. The Ludicolo in particular makes this team have a lot of bad matchups. More switching, okay. I mean, we have Blizzard. I could go for it. Well, we got a good amount of our health, too. I'm going to go for it. Alright, they're faster, of course, so they use Psychic first. We survive it. Blizzard. 1 for 1. Wow, then that just shows how bulky. We got the freeze! Wow, we got the freeze. Holy cow. Okay. Well, now we just got to land another one. We missed this one, of course. Come on. Alright, we land that one. Latios survives it. Now we can Giga Drain because it's low health. Still frozen. This should be the kill shot on it. Latios goes down. Ludicolo running amok here. I'm going to Blizzard again. Maybe we get lucky and freeze it. Okay, they must have misclicked or something. They used Moonlight. There, they thought they were going to outspeed us. One or the other. That was weird. That was really weird. Yeah, now they're going Calm Mind now that they know that they outspeed us. That could be an interesting mistake on their part. Having one less time they can heal as a result. Our last Blizzard, do we get a freeze again? We got a crit. No freeze. I'm going to switch. Because if they're Calm Mining, like, we're just going to do less damage every turn. We need something that can hit physically, like Punch, Kick. And it's weak to Weavile, so this works. With it having already taken some damage, Weavile's going to hurt it bad. I don't know if they'll knock it out, but it's going to hurt it bad at least. It might take it out. It might take it out. We'll go Night Slash and see what happens here. Oh, so close. Comes Moonblast. That's going to be a dead Weavile, but the Cresselia's in a bad spot. It's going to have to recover this turn. Oh, okay. Well, that's a dead Cresselia unless they're smart and take it out. But if you take it out, you lose the boost anyway. Oh. Extreme speed. And Cresselia will go down. Its first time being knocked out this season. Things looking good for Nightmare. I'm just gonna... No, misclick. I'm just gonna stay in, because if I switch to, like, Rotom Heat to avoid an Earthquake and it's a Hydro Pump and it goes down, we lose. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna stay in. I guess Drain Punch, since Meteor Mash is not effective. They're down to Gastrodon and Rotom Fan to try and save the day. We'll do one Meteor Mash, see if we can get the attack boost. Did not get the attack boost. Lucario hangs on with 7 left. Go for the Drain Punch. Surely they won't heal this turn. They'll just go for the kill shot, right? I think we're having another desync. No? Just oddness from my computer on my end. Great. Lucario will go down. Gastrodon with the knockout. Gastrodon has taken some damage, though. Giga Drain, even if it's the Rotom Fan, we're going to get some damage on it. And it can't heal. Reliably, anyway. I will say we don't have the Blizzard anymore, so, like, we can't hit it neutrally with Hydro Pump. The critical hit helped. Alright, Hydro Pump. It's faster. It's going to go for the flinch. It didn't need the flinch. Ludicolo goes down. Alright. Rotom versus Rotom. It doesn't really have an answer for that, I don't think. $97. Overheat. Alright, Overheat lands. And that's goodbye, Rotom Fan. Alright, it's looking like Nightmare's going to win unless Gastrodon pulls off some sort of miracle here. I think the Gastrodon does know Blizzard, so it does technically have a shot against Latios. but it's going to need to have a lot of things go right. We're going to go for Confusion instead of Shadow Ball, because from where we did Overheat, our special attack is down. I'm not sure Shadow Ball will take it out from here. I know it's probably going to recover, but the Confusion may give us a chance to switch Pokemon. I don't think it's going to use Blizzard. Ooh, actually, we might get lucky and be able to pull it off now after it hit itself. Let's find out. Is this enough? It is not enough. It is confused still, though. If it hits itself, it's over. Nope. Okay, darn it. Alright. Okay, back to my original thought, though. It's unlikely to use Blizzard when we've got Rotom Heat in there. So let's switch, and that way if Rotom does need to come back in later, it's back to full attack instead of half attack. Oh, that's a big turn right there that it didn't get the heal all the way. That is actually huge. Psychic, definitely not surfing it. It has Storm Drain. That is huge that it hit itself in Confusion. Latios gets the knockout. And the undefeated Rayquaza have fallen. They have lost 2-0. Nightmare vying for that number 2 seed still, moving up to 8-4. They will be eagerly awaiting to see how my game ends with the Fairmont Flygon and My Little Ponyta. Speaking of which, last game of the day, My Little Ponyta, controlled by me, against my own Fairmont Flygon. My Little Ponyta comes in at 5-6. They weren't sure if they were going to have to win out or win 2 out of 3 to get in. With Mamoswine, with the power losing today, they do not necessarily have to win out to get in. Although obviously winning out would be the easier path. So we'll see how this goes. These matches are always odd for me because, like, I do my best to win because I want to up my record against the CPU. But it's always a little awkward fighting my own team. It's like, yeah, I did it. Oh, I beat my team. Darn it. Let's see. Sharpedo is very good against this team. I'm not sure who to start, so I'm going to do what they've been doing and use Bronzor as a start, and we'll go from there. So let's see. Today I am 4-1 against the computer so far. I will say the Bronzor, this lineup is going to be hard to win with because I knew they were going to use this same lineup again. They've done so for weeks in a row. So I did try to pick 5 that would be good against this lineup, expecting it to happen. So this is going to be rough. But I will do my best to try and win still. Alright, it went for Fire Blast and missed to start. That Trick Room could actually be very big if we get the Powdon out there soon. Alright, that hurt. But again, our big thing with Bronzor is more just getting the Trick Room up. Alright, Flygon will take out the Bronzor. But now we can put in a slow Hippowdon that knows Ice Fang. All right, they're going to switch. I was going to say, because we outspeed it, it's dead for sure if it stays in. Okay, well, we can't fissure it because it floats. What's our other move? We don't have another move. Well, in this case, we go Roserade. Interesting you went Will-O-Wisp, because, like, against the other Pokemon, Hippowdon still would have been able to use Fissure. The Will-O-Wisp could have maybe helped against the Ice Fang, though. Alright, Regice coming out. A lot of switching early on here for both sides. Regice is such a special tank. My gosh. We have anything that doesn't, like, die immediately? Metagross. %50 accurate Blizzard, and it hits on the first try. It did not freeze us, thank goodness. We're going to bullet punch it. Going back to the Rotom, huh? We don't necessarily have to run this time because we have Psycho Cut, so we can actually hit the darn thing. I believe we're going to be faster. I'm actually kind of interested to see who's faster here. It is faster. It goes Hydro Pump. Now, see, you would think this would be the Pokemon that they would want to Will-O-Wisp. Huh. Alright, so interesting that they didn't Will-O-Wisp there. Going for Hydro Pump again. Alright. They're going to switch, so I'm going to Sludge Bomb whatever comes in. But off chance that we poison something. And if it's Aggron, then just a great prediction on their part. It is not Aggron, okay. We got the poison, so my idea worked. Only problem now is Metagross is low enough. I don't know if it survives Blizzard. We should outspeed the Regice, but I don't know if we do enough to take it out this turn. Well, we'll see. It might just miss the Blizzard anyway. Or Thunder, or whatever the heck it's doing. I would assume Blizzard. It lands the Blizzard, of course it does. Although it's very, very, very low on health, thanks to Roserade. Does it go down? It does go down, so Roserade gets a knockout as well there. Let's go Hippowdon. We'll set the weather back up. Alright, it's the same matchup we had at the beginning, except no Trick Room. Okay. Well, I mean, we're bulky enough, we should survive to get a hit off. It's a Ice Fang. Retreating again already, okay. Alright, Rotom's very low on health. It better hope it doesn't miss its attack this turn. 3 for 3 on Hydro Pump in this battle. And it one-shots Hippowdon. Really? As bulky as Hippowdon is, I'm a little shocked it was a one-shot. Not a little shocked, I'm a lot of shocked. But, alright, we'll put Metagross in. It's so low on health that even with it, like, quad-resisting Bullet Punch, like, we should be able to take it out. Should. You never know. Rotom finally goes down. Alright, it's Flygon. Let's get Togekiss in there, because it's no doubt going to go Earth Power or Fire Blast or Crunch. I mean, all those hurt us. Yep, okay. Only problem is we can't do the full Paraflinch strategy because Thunder Wave doesn't work on, so I'm just going to go for Dazzling Gleam. Stays in and uses Fire Blast, okay. I would have withdrawn if I was them. I mean, they still have Aggron in the back. That's an interesting call. An interesting call that cost Flygon there. That's a very weird decision. Because Aggron being a Steel type wouldn't have been hurt much by Air Slash or Dazzling Gleam. That one's very odd to me. There's the Aggron. Again, very odd to me that they did it the way they did it. Well, we're going to Thunder Wave because I know they're going to do the double the speed strategy. This will just negate that. Hey, they might be fully paralyzed and not even get the boost to begin with. No, okay. So they're going to break even essentially here. We can try to Paraflinch it into oblivion now. Little bit by little bit. I know it's not very effective, but it's our best chance. It fought through the Paraflinch to speed up again. Alright, if it's faster than us now, we might be in trouble. If it is not faster than us now, we just keep Paraflinching. It is faster than us now. Uh-oh. Togekiss survives. Gets some more damage on it. Hasn't been fully it's only been fully paralyzed once. Aggron gets the knockout there. Alright, we do have Metagross. Now what I'm going to do, because I know the Aggron outspeeds us right now, and Bullet Punch isn't going to get it for us here. And the Sharpedo will do the speed boosting, so I'm going to use Agility. The reason I'm going to use Agility is if we don't die this turn, we'll be fast enough we can maybe pull off a comeback here. Maybe. We flinched. Okay, we needed to be fully paralyzed here. It wouldn't have mattered what move I picked that turn. Aggron is fully paralyzed. We're going to have a chance. Alright, now it's going to depend on who's faster. We are faster. There's the Earthquake. Aggron will go down. Now it's going to be determined by is Sharpedo with 1.5 times speed faster than Metagross at double. Actually, it might be smart to Agility here. Yeah, because it's no doubt going to do the Protect thing that every Sharpedo does. Yeah, Good prediction on my part. All right, it's going to come down to Metagross's firepower and Sharpedo's defenses. Because we're at triple speed. We should outspeed it even with the speed boost. So, if we can beat it in one hit with Earthquake, it's over. If it survives the Earthquake, it's over for us. Do we one-shot it? We do not one-shot it. Metagross will go down. Sharpedo gets the knockout. That is a 1-0 win for the Flygon. Ponyta drops to 5 and 7. They are still in playoff contention since some of the 7 and 4 teams lost today. One of them specifically lost today, my bad. So they're still in it. But yeah, Flygon with the win, go to 9 and 3. It really came down to Metagross there. And I know some people have been complaining this season that I should be running... some people want me to use Meteor Mash instead of Bullet Punch. Both are great on Metagross. It just depends on what you're looking for. Like, I guess you can make the argument that if I use Agility every single time, Meteor Mash is better because we're getting the speed boost. But at the same time, there are some battles we haven't had the luxury of having a turn to put up Agility. So Bullet Punch has been nice to just get quick hits. So, I mean, you can make the argument either way. Metagross is one of those really good Pokemon where there's like 7 good moves it could have. And unfortunately, you can only pick 4. So that's just the 4 I'm using. So, alright, when we made these sets. Well, with that all being said and that battle being concluded, I'll be back in a moment with our updated standings. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Okay. Here's the updated standings. Despite losing today, with all the events that happened, the Raging Rayquaza have clinched a bye week in the playoffs. They can either end up being the 1 seed or the 2 seed, but either way, they're going to have a bye week. So that's what the Z is for. Fairmont Flygon with their win today, we've clinched a playoff spot. We could still be seeded anywhere from 2 to 6, but we're going to be in the darn thing at least. Nightmare AC hanging out at 3rd via tiebreaker now at 8 and 4. Harpers Ferry Haunter in 4th via tiebreakers at 8 and 4. And Mamoswine Flew in 5th at 8 and 4. Pokemon Power hanging out 7 and 5 at the 6th seed again. The 3, 4, 5, and 6 seeds could all switch. And the Fairmont Flygon could drop 2, so 2 through 6 very open right now. On the outside looking in, Squirtle Squad at 6 and 6, just a game behind the Power, 2 games behind all the 8 and 4 teams, so they could still get in the playoffs. For Ponyta's sake and Team Garrett, the only way they could get in is if they take the Power's place. So if the Power can get a win, that'll... Basically, they both need the Power to lose out, and they also need to win out. So if either of them loses a game, they're done. In the Power's case, if they just win a game, both those 2 teams are done. So, that's what it looks like right now. With the 3 teams that we know were already eliminated coming into this week being eliminated. I'm now 43 and 28 against the computer this season. So we're at about the same pace that we were in the first year that I started this thing. My win percentage then was 60.7. It's 60.6 today. At season's end, we'll update the all-time record. I just didn't want to have to do that calculation every week. So we're just doing 2025 for right now. We'll update the all-time at the end of the regular season. Or at least the end of the playoffs. We'll see. As far as stats go, Latios up top with Lucario right behind, as well as Ludicolo having a pretty good matchup today. 15-5 for Latios, 11-5 for Lucario. Roserade and Metagross leading the charge for the Ponyta, 14-7 and 14-9. Walrein still with a 19-6. That's a good total. I know it only went 1-1 today, but that's a massive total. Cresselia finally going down today, getting its first feint. It's at 13-1 now. Rayquaza not using the Garchomp. I don't think that was really the biggest mistake. I think the biggest mistake was bringing the Hippopotas when they didn't have Garchomp. I think if you would have had something a little more useful like Frostlass or one of the Lake Trio there. You might have they might have gotten away with that. But oh well. I've been saying all season it was unlikely that they would go undefeated, especially with this tough stretch they've got at the end of the season. Fairmont, Flygon at 11-4, Aggron at 10-4. Then we got Sharpedo at 9-3. So they're doing well. Reggie Ice did what it needed to do today, and Rotom Wash did what it needed to do today. Very happy with my team. I mean, you look statistically at my team, every Pokemon, even Dusclops and Sableye, I've noticed, every Pokemon on my team usually at least gets about a knockout for every feint they get. So, like, they do their job, at least. So, Squirtle Squad, Leafeon's still up top, despite not doing much today, except getting fissured. Then it's Porygon, who hasn't played for a few weeks now, but it's still hanging in there at number 2. We had a rare Salamence sighting today, and it got a knockout. Licky Munchkins, Pelipper's up top. But the star today was Carvana, getting the big win for Licky Munchkins. Wailforce 1, kind of the same old story there, with Relicanth, Wailord, and Wingull at the top. Harpers, Ferry, Haunter, Heatran, and Azelf are still the leaders. Neither one was played today, though. Grovyle was the one that played as far as who the leaders are. Mamoswine flew. With Mamoswine playing today, I'm just checking games played here. Okay. With Mamoswine playing today, I'll check one more thing. Okay. With Mamoswine playing today, 21 knockouts to 7 feints. So it is both the games played leader and the knockout leader. It is the only one to reach 20 so far this season. But again, Walrein has 19, so I'm sure it'll join the 20 club as well. So both those two are probably the favorites for MVP. Maybe Cresselia if we throw it in there, because it's no doubt that Cresselia has been dominant this season, but it's also only been used in 6 matchups. So I don't know if people will take that into account or if they'll just see the 13-1 and vote for it, you know? Because the MVP is a vote by the managers. They can vote for anyone on any of the teams except their own Pokemon. So, for example, if Team Garrett's voting, they can't vote for any of the 9 on their roster, but they can vote for anyone else's Pokemon. Shift Tree, by the way, being their leader now after having 2 monstrous weeks in a row. And Team Leanna using the same 5 and getting the same result. So yeah, this is why I meant about clinching a bye. If you look at our playoff bracket here, the Raging Rayquaza will either be the 1 or 2 seed, so either way, they've got a free trip to the Final Four. Clinched. In fact, so I'll have to add in bye for the first round playoff opponent. Flygon fighting with others to get that 2 spot. If the Flygon get a win next week and can get Harpers, Ferry, Haunter, and Mamoswine to lose, the Flygon will also clinch a bye. If not, if Flygon lose or if either one of those teams win, then that spot is still up for grabs. And of course, if Flygon lose, it may very well be Nightmare taking over. In fact, it will most indefinitely be Nightmare because they have tiebreaker over the Flygon as well. So big last 2 weeks of battles coming for who's in, not only who's in the playoffs, but who is what seed. So, yeah. I'm going to be taking a vote this week from the managers, too, to figure out what we're doing playoff-wise. I have a feeling we're going to do what we did last season, where we do 2, like where a team, well, we'll use Flygon and Raging Rayquaza here. If we played each other in the playoffs, Game 1 would be me in control of one team, and Game 2 would be me in control of the other team, and then we add up the point differential at the end. If it was a 2-0 victory, of course the team that won both times wins. But if it splits 1-1, then it's going to be who won by the... Like if Raging Rayquaza won by 3 and Flygon won by 1, Rayquaza gets the victory. Like, that's kind of how we go about that. In the past, that's what we did because the CPU was so dumb that even doing best of 3, it was bound to be the higher seed winning most of the time because I was in control. Now that's another person, we might consider doing single elimination or best of 3. Most likely single elimination. I don't really want... If we do best of 3, that's too long. That would be at minimum 6 matches a week. I mean, that'd be what we're doing now, but it's hard to get people to make 3 different lineups, you know? At least the way we do it now, they make 1 lineup and we just flip it both times. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, there's the updated standings. Once again, the Rayquaza have fallen. They are 11-1, but they have clinched that at worst. They'll be a 2 seed. And the Flygon have clinched a playoff berth, albeit we have no idea if they'll be seeded 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, you know, that YouTube nonsense. I'll see you next time with another episode of the Pokemon Swish Draft League. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.